Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at being haunted by the spirits of Christmas 3, but mostly we're poor at making art. My name's Benj.
And I'm Isaac. And as Christmas draws just another day closer, we have decided to stay in the Christmas spirit by drawing Christmas Spirit today.
Which could obviously mean any number of things.
Yeah, most people back in the day probably thought it's that time of year where you feel, the presence of Christmas in your heart. And then Charles Dickens came along and said, no, actually, it's the time of year where greedy people get haunted by the three spirits of Christmas.
Yep.
And that's what we now interpret it as. But whether you're being haunted or are just being greedy or are just feeling Christmas-y, today we are going to do our best interpretations of what this might mean in our medium of ballpoint pen.
Yes.
Yeah, see what I did there?
The only medium.
Mediums, people who claim to talk to spirits.
Yeah. No,
also
I
medium in that we use a pen as our form of artistic expression.
Yes. I got it. I was just going to ignore it.
It was great. I came up with that on the spot, didn't write it down or anything. Just like this drawing I'm going to do today, where I definitely didn't draw it, didn't think about what it's going to be, but it's going to be Christmas Spirit. So I kind of debated, do I do like an actual being, like the ghost of Christmas past and present and future, or do I do like the Go Christmas Spirit, like it's like the high school mascot?
Oh yeah, like everybody cheering.
Like their mascot is
like
Christmas
school spirit.
Yeah, but their mascot is Christmas itself, and they have Christmas Spirit.
Right.
If you're out there and you're like making a high school for some reason and you need a mascot, Christmas is a good mascot because of that single joke you could make.
You could also do an even more obvious pun than what I did last time when I did, Christmas or holiday seasoning. Like spirit is an alcoholic drink. So you could do like the Christmas Spirit.
Pour some in your eggnog.
Just draw the same thing I drew last time, but
he's pouring out a bottle of alcohol instead.
Yeah, that says Christmas on it.
I mean, you could go that route, but first, I think it's my interpretation of how to draw Christmas Spirit.
I have to see what you draw so I can not draw the same thing.
Yeah, I know, that's tricky, right? Because we don't plan these things beforehand. Like, you could have the same idea I do.
Back when we used to just draw separately and then show each other, we often drew the exact same thing.
We'll have to show everybody sometime our drawings from the past. We have quite a few that we used to do on pen and paper. They actually are surprisingly good compared to what we do online here, because as it turns out, pen and paper is surprisingly easy to draw.
Not good.
I know. Don't give that.
Surprising in how much better they are, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But not good. Like don't make them expect anything of us.
No, that would be unfair. But today I'm gonna go with the being Christmas Spirit. It goes around on Christmas time and spreads Christmas spirit across the land.
So it's a spirit that spreads spirit.
Isn't that great? Yep. It spreads spirit.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking this week about how, you have, Christmas trees. But, for 99% of the year, they're not called Christmas trees.
Right.
There's, it's a Douglas fir, of course, because, I don't know, someone named Douglas apparently discovered it.
Nobody actually call them that?
I mean, if you look at, the
pine tree.
Yeah. But if, you look at the label, I feel like, you go to Walmart and, they scan the barcode. It would come up on the computer from the 1970s. That they still use Douglas fir.
I don't think they sell them unless it's Christmas time, and then they would just say Christmas tree.
But there's some botanist involved who's no. We must call them.
Who's buying a Christmas tree? Cut it's cut down. Who's going and buying a cut down Douglas fir? Not at Christmas time.
I don't know. I just know that there are Christmas trees who wake up every day of the year wondering if Christmas Spirit is coming to them next to turn them into a Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
And that's basically what I've decided to go with today. So I'm going to draw, the most realistic depiction of a Christmas tree you've ever seen.
Oh, more than just a triangle.
I know. I was debating about if I was even capable of doing more than just a triangle.
Yeah, well, I mean, triangles require straight lines. This, like, if you mess up, it's just like, oh yeah, well, it's not perfectly straight.
Mm-hmm. Like it's also just
I mean, what tree is perfectly straight?
yeah, yeah. That's exactly. See, people need to understand that art, other than our art, is like an unrealistic depiction of things in reality. They're drawing like a beautiful person with normal looking hands, and
Yeah,
they're drawing
yeah,
trees that are like, oh,
yeah.
it's like
what human?
Thomas Kincaid
has
painted
normal
that
hands?
clearly because it looks mystical and otherworldly and clearly more beautiful than anything you've like. Have you ever looked at a painting and been like, where does that exist in the real world?
Yeah, yeah. Whereas like our pictures, like yours from last time, I'm always like looking at these pictures and wondering who actually has eyes on each side of their nose.
Yeah.
Like everybody's eyes are on one side and the nose is on the other side of the face.
Exactly right.
And then the hand is just like a mass of flesh. Like that's what everybody in real life looks
from
like.
A distance, nobody looks any different than that.
Yeah, so it's like these paintings where it's just like, what's up with it? Like, ridiculous.
It's not even art if you're like just drawing exactly how it's supposed to look, is it?
Picasso might agree.
Yeah, like he was like, oh yes, this is a man, and you're like, He takes it a little too far, if I'm being honest. You're like, all right, Picasso, if you say this is a man, and it's like clearly just like a line, like not even a full line, like part of a line.
Yeah.
But
Does this tree have an eye?
I mean,
Or two?
all trees are alive. Like that's nothing anyone's gonna deny.
Yeah, I guess.
All plants are living.
Yep. There's a difference between living and having eyes, though.
Like that, vegetarians. You're still eating something alive. Potatoes
Well, I mean, it's not
have
alive
eyes.
when they eat it.
Potatoes have eyes.
Because they still kill it.
Well, I
and,
mean, like there
and
could
like
be
cook it.
There could
Usually.
be vegetarians
you
that
don't
are
have
just
to
going
cook
out into the
all
field and
vegetables.
taking a bite right off the stalk.
While it's still in the ground.
Yeah. It'd be much worse if you did that to an animal, understandably. But is it really? Yes, it is. Let's see. What shape mouth does a Christmas
I mean, it's
tree
definitely
have?
grosser if you do it to an animal.
Yeah, that's the shape of mouth a Christmas tree
Yeah.
has.
Just rectangle. I mean, see, you can make up anything you want. That's the benefit of fantasy.
Thank you for that explanation. To our viewers at home. So here's our Christmas tree, sitting alone on a hill up where Christmas trees naturally grow,
Mm-hmm.
wherever that might be.
Every hill that has snow on it, I would say.
I do believe that's how it works. And he has some little buddies down here. Little tufts of grass that somehow still are growing even though it's apparently snowing. Snow grass, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about that.
Yeah, now Christmas spirit is going to come and bless him. Bless him greatly.
With spirit?
No, with
Christmas spirit?
Yes, with Christmas spirit.
Yeah. The Christmas spirit will bless him with Christmas spirit. How is a spirit a dot spirit?
I mean, you can't really see a spirit, can you?
I don't really know the answer to that.
In your personal experience, have you ever seen a spirit?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yep, see?
He looks like a gingerbread man.
Where do you think the idea of gingerbread men comes from, Benj? From Christmas spirit himself. It's our way of honoring him.
They're just all cookies. All gingerbread cookies are just Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's him, his blessing.
Mm-hmm. Does the blessing like do anything physically to the Christmas tree, or is it just like now it has more
No,
Christmas
because
spirit?
that's the thing. All of a sudden, Christmas trees were just like, that's not a Douglas fir anymore. That's a Christmas tree. But you have to be filled with Christmas spirit before you can acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
And before you can even acknowledge that, Christmas spirit itself has to come and bless that Christmas tree.
Okay.
Turn it into a Christmas tree. Not in physical appearance, but in spirit.
Right. So as we drive past this tree, now that it's been blessed, we're like, oh, that's a Christmas tree. That's no longer a Douglas fir.
Yes, exactly.
So like, are like all Christmas trees like literally his children, or like adopted children?
No, like only the ones he blesses become his child.
Okay, so
If
it's like
he adopts,
an
if he
adopted.
adopts you, then
Then you
you
become
become a Christmas tree.
okay.
Yeah, but in the meantime, you're just like a Douglas fir waiting for a Christmas spirit to come in.
So like if he forgets to bless a tree or chooses not to,
Then it's just a Douglas
and
fir.
so
It's just a
like,
pine tree.
like you could go to like a Christmas tree place where you buy
Have
Christmas
you
trees.
ever noticed that
And
there
they're
are
just
those...
like the one that's just like that's not a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
exactly. The one that everyone looking at it and they're like, not taking that one home.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the ones that the woodcutters mistakenly thought was a Christmas tree.
Right.
It just got swept up in like the
Mhm.
frenzy of the moment. They're like, chop it all down. And
Yeah.
like, but what about that one? It's clearly not a chop it down, I said. You know, like
And
how
then,
the...
and then they try to sell it, and it's like nobody's gonna buy it.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And speaking of the woodcutter,
He's just like waiting for it to be blessed so he can chop it down.
why not? It's just floating at the moment.
It's the floating axe. It's the spirit of the woodcutters. How is this guy holding the axe?
Got his fingers sort of kind of wrapped around it.
Like, I guess it's left-handed.
He's just about to reach out, chop it down, you know.
Wearing his black long-sleeved glove.
It's yeah, you know. I could add another finger in there, but what's the point?
It actually, to me, it looks more like that's like a snowman holding an axe.
Could be. It could be. That makes a lot of sense if you really think about it.
Does it though?
That would be brilliant. I'd love that if you just saw like an army of snowmen out there chopping down Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm.
That feels so Christmassy.
Yeah.
If you saw like a giant gingerbread shaped spirit come down and bless the trees and make them Christmas trees, and then all of a sudden the snowmen came and chopped them down and hauled them away, and then someone dressed like Santa was selling them. Like, what more do you want out of Christmas spirit than that?
That's true.
That's beautiful.
That is very Christmas.
Absolutely beautiful. That is what Christmas spirit is all about. And thus, I end my drawing. Christmas spirit. The blesser of all Christmas trees.
Can't forget your own name.
No, if I don't have my name and age on here, it's not art.
Nope. Can't put it on the
I'm
refrigerator.
surprised that there are not more paintings in museums that have the author's name and age on them.
Yep.
They hide their artists like to hide their weird signatures and things sometimes, but never their age.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at artists
how are you supposed to know how old they were?
Yeah,
can their parents even be proud
of their work?
You
know how many of these paintings we have from people Van Gogh and stuff? And people are like, well, we think it was painted around this time in his life. No, they shouldn't have to guess. It should have his name and age right on it. You're like, yes, we can clearly see that when Picasso was 29, he was, drawing sunflowers. And this tells us that when he was 29, he really liked sunflowers.
Yep.
Now they have to make up a bunch of stuff about it.
Which they can just say whatever they want.
Yeah,
because
exactly. Because the artist
who's to
forgot
know?
To put their name and age.
Yep. Well, let's see what my interpretation's gonna be.
All right, get over here. Of the arms I've drawn, that one may be the most disturbing.
On the side. Not ever since we mentioned Snowman, it no longer disturbs me.
Yeah, it is better when you think about it like that instead of almost looked like frostbite the way I drew it. But definitely a snowman. We're going with that.
Because
all snowmen have 3 fingers. We all know that.
It's 3-fingered, super deformed, skinny arm.
Yeah.
Weirdly holding this axe. Yeah.
How ironic it is that
it's still somewhat scary because it's a snowman with an axe.
It's true, especially when you think about that arm is made out of the tree.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Quite disturbing.
That's where they get their hands from.
Yep.
And it's using an axe.
Yep.
That
tree is going to end up in somebody's living room, slowly dying for a month.
Yep. I'm going to clear your drawing here, if I can remember the button. Nope. There we go.
Congratulations. We're slowly learning.
Only the second try. Okay.
I just want to point out, there are 8 buttons on this thing. We use 5 of the buttons on this tablet, and they've never once changed. We just never once have remembered what they all do the first time.
You expect us to remember a week later?
Yeah, I would imply that we practice throughout the week. No. At this rate, we'll be good by 2055 or something like that, because we'll have practiced the normal amount of times to be good with a drawing tablet.
Yeah. How long does it take to master a craft? How many hours?
I
think it was
more than we're willing to put in.
Yep. More than 0.
Yes, indeed. But Christmas spirit.
Yes, and my goal here is I just don't want to draw human, and I also don't want to draw hands.
Always safer to not draw either of those. Just draw something else for Christmas spirit. Draw the Christmas songs and the milk and cookies and the eggnog and all the things that fill us with Christmas spirit.
I'm gonna draw
gingerbread houses and sugar plums.
I'm gonna draw. This is like a ghost. Okay. Just the classic,
like a Pac-Man ghost.
Yeah, just like
a really tall Pac-Man ghost.
Classic worst ghost ever, and it's got a little hand here.
Oh gosh, what is that?
It's like an arm, and he's got another one that's just right here.
That one's significantly smaller, but
they change the size of their hand depending on what they need it to do.
I mean, the fact that a ghost has a shape to begin with is kind of odd. Can't it just be whatever?
And he's holding a spirit, a drink. Whatever your favorite, eggnog with a little bit of alcohol in it or something.
Yes, apparently that is something people drink. Christmas, spirit. That's the true Christmas spirit.
Yeah. And then, he's
been
soulless eyes. As all ghosts do.
I mean, you could stop right there.
Because
double Christmas spirit.
Because ghosts are souls, so they don't also have souls.
Yeah, there's not. The soul is on the outside, not on the inside.
So
when you're a ghost,
so the eyes aren't the window to the soul anymore.
you're already looking at
They
the
window.
It's like the skin is the window of his soul. It's just it is the soul.
Exactly. Now, I mean, if you know my drawings, this looks more like he's holding it with his nose.
100%.
Because that's the same way I draw noses.
100%.
But ghosts don't have noses, so it's not that.
It's true.
Like, it's just clearly it's not that.
That brings up something important that we should probably talk about. So if you've ever seen like A Christmas Carol, they always get the second and third ghost like pretty darn accurate, right? Like the second ghost, Ghost of Christmas Present, he's always like big and gianty and jolly, and the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come is always like terrifying and in like a black robe. And then for whatever reason, no one can agree on what the Ghost of Christmas Past is supposed to look like. I mean,
to be fair, it's supposed to be somewhat amorphous.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes it's a child that looks like a candle. Sometimes it's an old woman in a dress. Sometimes it's like a man who just like they never, it's never even close.
But wasn't the book like, didn't it say I couldn't tell its age or gender?
Yeah, but like there's a difference between you can't tell its age and gender and there's like clearly picking, oh, this is an old woman ghost, or like this is a child. Like, yeah, like it probably is supposed to look more like what you just drew. What I'm suggesting is that guy right there, should be the new Ghost of Christmas Past. Like he's got like a drink, and they're like,
drink with his nose.
Yeah, he's like, what's that?
He doesn't have a nose.
Ghosts don't have nose. We've already established this. But yeah, it's just like he shows up, and he's drinking Christmas spirit, and he is the ghost. Like it's just generic ghost. Can't tell what's underneath that sheet because there is no sheet. It's a ghost.
Yeah, I agree. So he's going to be saying this.
You sure that's what that says?
Fills. My S's don't come across good on this thing. That made it worse. This fills.
It almost looks like now, like when you're writing like a secret message and they have to like look at the bolded words. It's like S and then another S, and every S that he draws is super bold. What does it mean? This fills me so much. Yes. This fills me with so much Christmas spirit. That's yeah, that letter.
Yep. And then there's the one line, so you know he's
this fills me with so much Christmas. So like, wait.
And then
is that like one of his friends in the cup? Like they blended him up into like a drink?
I mean, you can assume whatever you want with the way
3 fingers on this now. There you go.
Yeah. This snowman is smaller than I was originally planning it to be. But that's fine. I don't care.
At least his hand isn't quite as disturbing as the one holding the axe.
Snowmen do have noses.
That's like one of their defining features.
They're carrot noses.
2 eyes made out of coal. Okay, it's a ghost. It's a ghost snowman, apparently.
Yeah, because it got possessed by his buddy.
Oh.
And he's also holding a spirit.
So you're telling me that these ghosts just hang out and then they drink Christmas spirit and they become snowman ghosts?
That's an E that I originally was going to not write an E.
It almost looks like a style choice.
It was.
No, it wasn't. Was that supposed to be an O?
You know how like when you're writing and you start thinking about the next letter?
100%.
Yeah. Wow, you're writing the letter. So
it is quite dangerous. And then you add talking to that, and it's just, it doesn't work.
Like, I mean, like I'm already bad at writing, both at spelling and like stylistic.
People incorrectly say it's impossible to like pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time, but it's much harder to talk and write accurately at the same time.
He has a cool like smile.
So you're telling me that like there are ghosts of snowmen out there?
No.
Like whenever a snowman melts, it turns into a ghost of that snowman? Because that's just horrifying to think about.
No. Like ghosts can possess snowmen that you build.
Oh. That's not scary at all. That's much better.
And then it's like, and then they just hang out with their ghost buddies.
Oh, see, that I can accept that, maybe. And they all drink Christmas Spirit?
Yeah, they all break into your house and steal your
Steal your
alcohol.
Christmas Spirit.
But I mean, so, you know, you can take that as a warning to not have any alcohol in your house if you want.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. At least at Christmas time, make sure you throw it all outside.
Yeah,
like you know how you leave like milk and cookies out for Santa. You gotta leave a couple of cups of Christmas spirits out on the front porch for the snowman.
Christmas spirits.
The Christmas spirits, yeah.
Especially if you're gonna build a snowman, because they will come and possess the snowman.
A snowman walking into your house would be like the most traumatic thing.
Yeah, it reminds me. There used to be commercials when we were kids, where like the snowman walked into the house and then like drank.
Yeah,
or
like sat down by the fire and they like took care of it. And...
Yeah, but then they like melted into like the kid that lived in the house.
Yeah, what was that commercial for?
Like I don't remember what it was for, but it was like this stain will warm
your soul or something.
It was probably like a soup commercial.
Oh, I think it was like a Campbell's commercial.
Yeah, and it was like the snowman would break into the house and like eat a soup and then like turn back into a kid.
Yep, it is a Campbell's soup commercial. I got it on my phone right here. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
It's like a creepy stop motion snowman too.
Yeah, that will happen.
Yeah, but it won't be your child. It'll be like your child's ghost coming back.
It'll be your dead uncle.
Super. Oh gosh, this is weird. It's like eating. Yeah, like if I walked in and there was just like a snowman at the table eating soup, and then I was like, okay, this is really weird. And then I was like, oh, it's Billy. I forgot he was playing out front. And apparently he came in and made himself some soup.
Mm-hmm. But clearly he died out in the cold.
This is from 1993. 1993. We were 1 year old when this commercial came out. But I mean,
I remember they must
have kept playing this commercial for many years if we remember it. Like,
because I remember that full well.
And then at some point they're like, "Isn't this kind of dark?
This the scariest thing we've ever done."
Yeah, maybe we should just
just a soup
have a family just like eating soup together or something. Not like their frostbitten son coming in and it restoring him. It's probably like a lawsuit. That's more what it was.
Yeah.
They're like, we told our son he'd be fine if he just ate a can of soup, but apparently leaving him outside for all night
until he became a
snowman. And then they like won like $5 million. The Camel's like, okay, I guess we have to pull this commercial. We never thought that
we can't coat our child in snow and then feed them soup and hope.
Maybe like a child saw it and was like, oh yeah, I'll build my brother into a snowman and I'll just make him some soup and everything will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although, I mean, we grew up watching this commercial and not once had that desire. Although we didn't have access to snow.
Well, I did in 1993.
That's true, but we weren't watching this like in our crib. I don't think.
Yeah, well, like I was in snow until I was 7, so.
Oh well, then honestly,
plenty of time to learn this bad example.
And you never once thought about putting one of your little brother in the snow.
It's true.
Well,
I definitely threw snow at my siblings.
Yeah, but I mean, this is pretty good. Christmas spirit, drinking Christmas spirit with another Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm. It's just yeah, for some reason, the pen didn't really mess up. It just didn't really get off.
You just messed up.
I wouldn't say that.
That S is flawless.
Am I even? That's not how you spell spirit, is it?
It is definitely how you spell spirit.
Well, it looks wrong.
Benj.
Age 29. Well, I think that will do it for our Christmas spirit.
If these drawings don't fill you with Christmas spirit, something is wrong. It might be with us. It might be with you. But something somewhere is wrong.
Something is definitely wrong.
So if these fill you with Christmas spirit, we're very, very thankful. And if not, maybe you too will be visited by the Christmas spirit who will bless you with...
You can stop saying humbug.
Yes, because apparently people still say that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever said that.
I mean, someone must have said it once.
I think he just made it up.
Like, we put it in A Christmas Carol and was like, bah, humbug. And people are like, oh, yeah, let's never say that. Because we don't want to be like Scrooge. Yeah. So, yeah, that makes sense. Although, I'll be honest, if I was like Scrooge and these two came to haunt me, it would be much more dramatic. Like, Scrooge just, like, turns around and there's a snowman wandering in his front door. Like,
drinking his alcohol.
Drinking his alcohol. Like, he'd probably change.
Just right away.
I don't know if it'd make him better or worse, but he would change in some way.
Yep,
so
I think so.
Here's to hoping no snowmen wander into your house and that you are filled with Christmas spirits all the way up until Christmas and not a moment longer.
Or at least until next week when we can do another Christmassy thing.
If you can hold out till then, that would be very, very kind of you. Very preferred.
Yep.
So we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.